Welcome to Legend of the Galactic Heroes, episodes 46 to 53. This is the latter part and the end of the second season. In this one, Yang Li uses his expertise fighting skills to help the Alliance come out of near complete destruction several times. But the Alliance does put up a strong fight against the Empire. They used the environment in space to try to take an advantage. The ships tried to take cover under the wreckage of destroyed ships. There was a part where the Alliance sent a ship to go board an Empire ship. The strategies are pretty good and pretty creative. The Empire does mop the floor with them, not at least until Yang Wenli's fleet arrives. Julian escapes Fezon. He captures an Empire ship and makes it back. And then we have the romance between Yang Wenli and one of his advisors. And I'm ashamed that I forgot her name. But it was hilarious seeing how awkward this scene was, because Yang Wenli has never been very good with women, and it took everything he had to even try to even begin to tell. I think it's a Frederica. But he does manage to tell her his feelings, that he wants to get married, and she agrees. After that, we get the humongous climactic fight at the end, where Yang Wenli takes the lead against Reinhardt, who is also in the front of the fight. Well, not really, he's actually in the back. But the point being that they're both now gonna clash head to head, and it's a brutal fight. It's a fight of endurance. Reinhardt creates several walls of defense with the fleets, and once Yang Wenli would take out most of the fleet, the remaining part of the fleet would fly back to the beginning of the wall, and so the fleets kept recycling themselves, and it felt like an impenetrable wall of defense. And Yang Wenli, despite this, is able to constantly break through and defeat these by applying his expert strategy. Back in Hainasen, with the Free Planet Alliance's government, is another fleet from the Empire has invaded them, and this leads to what happens at the end. What happens is Yang Wenli completely manages to outclass Reinhardt, and Reinhardt is angry because everywhere he's ever tried to have success in a fight, Yang Wenli always comes in and foils it. And so, up to this point, it's pretty clear that Reinhardt does not stand a chance against Yang Wenli in a fleet battle. He can't. Reinhardt can't do it. He would need Kitty Ice's help, or he would need Oberstein's help, just to try to get a basic idea of how he can approach this. And throughout this season, he's just haunted by the death of Kitty Ice. Reinhardt is a broken man because of this. He seems to be unable to recover because of the loss of this childhood friend of his. As the final battle at the end of Season 2 goes on, Yang Wenli has defeated Reinhardt's strategy, and he now has the opportunity to blast and destroy Reinhardt's ship. They're now facing each other. However, the Free Planet Alliance calls for a ceasefire because they've been taken over by the Empire while they were fighting. And the people, the Free Planet Alliance, those who are fighting, are outraged. They're saying, "We have Reinhardt right here. We can kill him right now." But what they don't realize is that they do kill Reinhardt, the Empire that is now taken over Planet Hainasen will slaughter everybody. And so they had to do a ceasefire. This also kind of ties into why Yang had left the Isolan fortress earlier, because it was useless. The fight was somewhere else, and they would have to have given it up during a peace treaty, which is what happened. But the peace treaty angers the Free Planet Alliance, and they end up having riots under there. Despite all this, Reinhardt has now achieved supreme supremacy over everything. He is now in charge of both the Galactic Empire and the Free Planet Alliance, and the people accept him. They accept him. They accept him in. But he's not happy. He's not happy because he did not do it. He was supposed to do it with Kitty Heist. They had made a promise and an oath to each other to take the universe together. In fact, Reinhardt had believed so much in Kitty Heist that he told Yang eventually that if Cutie Ice would not have been killed, Yang would have been dead right now. A shame, really. At the end of season 2, we get probably what I would say is one of the best episodes, where Yang Wenli finally meets Reinhardt. Because of the ceasefire, Yang Wenli was allowed to go up to Reinhardt's ship, and so they meet. And of course, Reinhardt is being this stuck-up kind of smart aleck, is picking at Yang Wenli, and Yang is for the most part just defending himself, while at the same time telling Reinhardt what he believes in, because Yang doesn't agree with a dictatorship. He agrees. He relates to democracy. Thus, when they meet, they have a debate, a very philosophical and political debate, where Yang Wenli tells Reinhardt that he believes in democracy, where the people rule and control their own destiny. But Reinhardt says that defeats the spirit of the individual, which confuses Yang because he had never heard that before. And Reinhardt tells him that a dictatorship isn't bad just because there are tyrants. And even Yang kind of supports this by telling Reinhardt that he is different from a lot of the other sort of dictators. And they just go back and forth. And it's just one of the best conversations I've seen so far. Just how deep they go into their politics for each other. I mean, this is just a casual overview. Eventually, I'm going to do a deep dive into a lot of the more important dialogue throughout the whole 110 episodes. And now Yang Wenli has retired. He's done fighting. He's looking for a house with his new wife. But it can't be over. It can't be over. I'm pretty sure he's going to get dragged back into this. And now Reinhardt has to deal with this new position of his. All at the same time, the bishops are planning something behind the scenes. And now I will start the third season probably after I finish this video. And I'm going to try to wrap it up quick, so I can finish my content on Legend of the Galactic Heroes. So that's just a very brief, fast, just casual look into episodes 46 to 54.